to everyone. Welcome to those watching us online. This evening's theme is about balancing materialism with spiritual growth. And we have with us Shantanu. Shantanu has been a meditator for a long time. And in terms of his professional and the academic learnings, he's been in the fashion design background and also has taught and sustained across sustainability in Indian institutes. But he's quite versatile. He also has background in media, education, and environmental initiatives. And I'll just read some of these things, what he does. He represented the Brahma Kumaris at UN 2015 to 2024 and now co-chairs the ReSpECC, Religion, Spiritual, Environmental Conservation, and Climate Justice, and IUCN Specialist Group. He's an active in global environmental forums, and he loves to tell stories and merges stories, his expertise in designing, and also his love for spirituality and also love for environment. So without a further ado, I'd like to invite Shantanu to share his thoughts on how to balance between materialism and spiritual growth. Thank you. Could you use that mic? Yeah?
Good evening, everyone, and good evening to everyone who is watching online. And before we begin, maybe we take a time to relax ourselves, bring ourselves here. So whatever you are holding in your hands, you can keep it in the chair or keep it aside. Make yourself free from any kind of holdings. Yeah. Just relax yourself. And take a deep breath. Whether you're watching it online and sitting somewhere, it's just a matter of thinking the right thoughts. Breathe in and gently breathe out. Breathe in, gently breathe out. And as I focus on my breathing, I can observe how just relaxing my body can be done so easily by relaxing my breath. Just keep observing right now what different thoughts are crossing my mind. Imagine yourself to be a traffic police and you are watching the road of your intellect. And thoughts are like cars. But you are the one to let the cars stop or to let them go ahead. What is right now in my mind? Slowly, let this space be a space of learning. Let this space be a space of sharing. And with this centering, With this focus, bring myself back into this room. Thank you so much. So, were you a good police? Or did you allow all the cars to just go on? Or were you just letting some to go and not others? Yeah? And how was it to watch your thoughts? You see, the fun fact is, the moment you observe the thought, it behaves properly. It's like people are just doing anything, and the moment you say, you see, there's a camera watching you, then they start behaving properly. Have you watched this? Have you experienced this? Even we do this. We are just walking by and somebody says that there's a cameraman who's filming, and then we walk very nicely. It's the same with thoughts. They are just randomly there. But the moment I take the position of an observer and I start observing them, they start behaving. Why? Why do you think this happens? There's no right or wrong answer. It's just your opinion, so you can share. Yes? Yeah. So our response was, I guess you become more conscious about what you are thinking, and so that's why you think even better. Very good. What else? Why do you think observing the thoughts makes them more likable thoughts? Yeah, the mic, because then they could hear. Yeah.
You have to detach yourself from that little moment, a very, very fine atom. You break from it, and you can feel that real peace, that real joy.
Yeah, beautifully shared. It's easy to detach ourselves from bigger and gross things, but it takes more power to detach ourselves from subtle things. It takes more power or more precision. If there's a big hole and you have to put a big stick through it, it's easy. But if the hole is getting thinner or more and more smaller, and it becomes a needle, and then they give you a thread that has to be passed through it, it takes precision. But then when you are able to do it, how do you feel? I did it. Sometimes passing a thread through a needle feels more rejoicing than achieving some big things. Why this? Because to be able to get hold of subtleties is something that gives the soul, the being, the sense of, wow, I did something great. Because things that are on a materialistic level, which are on a gross level, could be managed with a lot of knowledge that is there, a lot of wisdom that is there in the world. You can Google and it will tell you, do this, do this, do this. But things that are very subtle, that are not materialistic, that are invisible to the eyes, they need different level of learning, different level of application of the wisdom. And that is what we call spirituality, because it helps us to go to those little needle heads that are there, that we need to just thread in. So today's topic is what? Balancing. Yeah, to balance materialistic life with spiritual growth, or materialistic growth with spiritual life. And do you think they both can go together? How many of you think they both can go together? Yes, it both has to go together. That's why the topic says materialistic growth with spiritual growth, not against. The word with is the key word in that title. It's not either this or that. It is with. Balancing with. The word with is very important. When we start putting either this or that, then the mind would start pulling us on the one that we didn't choose. And if we say, no, no, this can also go with this, only thing is I'm prioritizing certain things at certain times and I'm prioritizing certain things at the other times. But who is that to prioritize it? Again, the same policeman who was standing and watching the cars. So am I able to prioritize what I need to prioritize at the right time? You want to hear a story? Who likes to hear a story? Only 2 people said yes, so no. Unless everybody says yes, then no story coming up. Okay, good. So the story goes like this. It's probably a fictional story, but who cares? At the end, it should be fun, right? So there was this king who was very good king. Everybody in his kingdom was very happy, very satisfied. And they said, for centuries, we never had a king like this. We would love this king to be our king forever. But can it be possible? Can somebody be holding a position or a way of being forever? No, nature says everything changes. The king understood everything changes. The kingdom would also go into hands of somebody who might not be able to run it properly. So I want to create a constitution that makes it running better for whoever takes my position later on. But how do I create the preamble or the constitution? What should I write there? What is the right thing to do? How do I know that? So he calls a council of ministers and wise people from all across the country. They all come together. They all sit and start giving him advice. And he is writing all of it down, but his heart is saying, it's still not clicking. I mean, these are very common things. Probably in his time, whatever would be a synonymous to Google, you could find that in that. But was nothing that deep that would be like a powerful guiding tool for anyone who is going to lead. And somebody tells him, you know what? At the edge of your kingdom lives a monk. And that monk is one of the best, because the moment people visit him, they get their answers even before asking. So he has an aura that is very powerful. So maybe you should go and ask him what you should write in the constitution. So the king goes there. So when the king visited the edge of his kingdom and he finds this monk was doing what? He was plowing his field, his maybe vegetable garden or whatever, little garden piece of land. He was trying to plow it. So he said, dear sir, I am the king of this land and I am here to ask some of your wisdom. Can you give me some time? He looked at the king and said, okay, can you first help me with this because I need to finish my work. He said, okay. The king, imagine such a good king, plowing the field of a saint, a monk. He did that. The plowing finished. Then he said, so my question to you is, while he was plowing, he said, my question to you is, how do I know what is the right thing to do? How do anyone knows what is the right thing to do? He said, can you please first finish this? He said, okay, sorry. So he started working. And once the work finished, then he said, okay, now can you tell me what is the right thing to do? And the monk said, I still have some work to left. I can tell you the answer once I have sown the seeds. He said, okay, don't worry. I'll help you in sowing the seeds. So he takes the bucket of seeds from the monk's hand and starts sowing the seeds all in the field. By this time, it's already afternoon and it's very sunny and hot. So he finishes it and comes to the monk and said, okay, I have finished sowing the seeds. Maybe now you can tell me how do I know what is the right thing to do? Or how does anyone know what is the right thing to do? So the monk said, well, my work is still left. I need to put the soil back on top of the seed. Otherwise, the birds would come and eat it. So let me first do that. He said, okay, let me also help you in that, so that, because he's eager to get that wisdom. So he's helping. So he finished that job also for the monk. By this time, it's already evening. And then he says, now, please, can you tell me, how to know what is the right thing to do? And the monk said, I have to water them. Because if I don't water them, they won't get the moisture and then they won't germinate tomorrow when the sunlight comes. And it requires that. So he said, okay, I will help you in this as well. And so he helps. And the monk said, I didn't ask you to help me. He said, no, it's fine. Let's just get on with it. He waters it as well. After this, what happens? The king goes and says, dear monk, can you please tell me how to know what is the right thing to do? He said, now is my time for dinner. So I need to first cook and eat. And so he cooks and he offers it to the king as well. And the king thinks, I think he's not going to tell me like this. Maybe I have to offer him something. So he said, do you want something to give me your wisdom? He said, no, I didn't say anything. And he said, when will you tell me? I have been asking you this question since morning and it's been already night. I did almost all the job that you were doing and I did everything and you yet not have answered my simple question that how do I know or how do anyone knows what is the right thing to do? What was the answer of the monk? You're laughing, that means you know the answer. What's the answer? He said, it's already very late, I need to go to sleep. You laughed because I think you assumed it, isn't it? And the king was like, what? He said, yeah, it's time for you also to go to sleep. Please sleep. He says, where would I sleep? He said, I sleep on that corner, you sleep on that corner. That's it, simple. And so he slept, but the king was like, I think I'm just wasting my time. There's nothing coming out of this. Because he doesn't understand I'm the king. I have to run my whole country and here I'm doing this. Next morning he wakes up and he finds the monk meditating. So he said, maybe this is a good time. Nothing. He's doing nothing. He's just sitting with closed eyes. That's a good time. Let me ask him this time. So he asks again, can you please tell me what is the right thing to do and how do I know what is the right thing to do? He said, I have been answering your question all the while, but I don't know why you didn't understand it. Was the monk answering it all the time? Did you pick up the monk's answer? What was it? Yes. Very good. Very close. Pretty close. What else? Whatever you do is the right thing? No. Then people would say, oh, well, I can do anything and that will be right. No. Sorry? Serving your people. Yeah. Okay. Very close. Very good. What else? The monk said, the right thing to do is whoever is in front of you, whatever task is in your hand is the only thing that you need to focus. Rest, everything is illusion. If somebody is in front of me, that person is the most important person for me forever, because that forever is that present moment. I might have 10 people in my list of people and friends that I know who could be very important to me, but they are not right now in front of me. The person in front of me is the right person for me. The place I am in is the right place for me to be in. And the time to do something good is now. Whatever task is in front of you is the right task for you to do. Thinking otherwise is just wasting your time, letting extra cars pass by, which doesn't have brakes, so they'll cause collision and accident. So the simple mantra the monk gave was, the right time is now. The right person is the one in front of you, and the right task is the task that you have in your hands. Such a simplified mantra to simplify the life. So how do you know what is the right thing to do? Right now, right here, what is there in front of me? Am I giving my full attention to that? If I'm not giving my full attention to that, then it doesn't matter however important things are next to come, I will be doing the same thing to other things as well. For example, if I am not able to look after this task properly and I didn't give my 100% to that, the next task comes, I will not be able to give 100% to that as well. Why? Because I have already started snatching out attention from things. I have allowed this to corrupt the consciousness. The conscience wants to give 100%, but when I don't give it full justice, what I'm trying to do is I am creating a habit which is corrupting me. So the simple way is to just focus on what is right there in front of me. This is a spiritual mantra that helps us to balance with our materialistic plans and progress and things that we have to do. If I am at job, then I should be focusing on that job rather than planning 10 things that I need to do in Inner Space Family this evening. When I come this evening, I will do it then. Right now, I am in front of my desk. There are people queuing up. I need to look after them. They are the most important people right now in front of me. So imagine if I am a receptionist and if I am doing this job and people are coming in front of me and they are talking to me, but my mind is like, oh, today evening there's a nice talk. I'll go there. I'll learn a lot of things. We will have a good experience. And this person is also talking to me. Will I be listening anything? And then this person will also feel like this person is not paying attention. And then they'll carry back this thought that that place was not so nice. They didn't treat me well. So if I'm not present, I'm not present not just for myself, but also for others. And that vacant space could be filled by wrong cars, wrong thoughts. And that's why it is important to practice being present. To be able to practice being present, we need less and less. If I have 10 things in my hand, my attention would be divided by 10. If I have 5 things in my hand, my attention will be divided by 5. So the less I have, more attention could be given. That's why in spirituality they say less is more. What less is more? Less thought is more powerful. They don't fill the blanks. Less is more what? Less number of thoughts is more powerful. But less number of thoughts, if they are of negative energy, they are more powerful to make me feel bad. Less number of thoughts of good energy, they are more powerful to make me feel good. Less feelings of low energy will make me feel low very powerfully. Less feelings of good energy will make me feel good more powerfully. So less is more for, because less means I am able to give more attention. They have more energy to feed back. But sometimes it is easy to do from inside out. Sometimes it is not. But sometimes it is also easier to do outside in. Try certain habits that you can do outside. Then it starts bringing my attention, my focus on what I am doing, what basically I'm trying to do. For example, in the beginning question, when I asked, when you observed your thoughts, why your thoughts became so better? And I think you answered that because you observed, it became conscious. You became conscious of your thoughts. Similarly, if I start working on a gross level, on a materialistic level where I could touch things, change things, I see a change immediately. And that feedbacks to my confidence that, okay, this is working. So it's easy to create a big expansion of things, a big expansion of lot of things and possessions. But how much of that is useful for me? That's the question. And there are many little tips in the world available that people try to live a life of more simple life. I love this statement that says simplicity is kindness. Think about this statement. Simplicity is kindness. Kindness to whom? To me. first of all to me. Because if my life is simple, then people who come and meet me, they'll feel that energy, easy energy. But if my life is very complicated, people will come to me and they will be also impacted with that energy. It won't flow to them easily. So simplifying is not just an act of kindness for the self, it's also for others, but also for the planet. I can buy 10 new shirts today, but do I need them? I can afford it, but can the planet afford it? Or can I do with a reusable shirt, maybe buying from a charity shop? Or maybe using my brother's or my father's shirt or something. There are ways for us to really simplify and practice simplicity, to balance modern lifestyle, to balance materialistic lifestyle, to balance a lifestyle of too much. We need to start editing somewhere. They have a rule called 90-90 rule. Have you heard of this? 90-90 rule? So 90-90 rule says, check your house, whatever you haven't used for 90 days. You're laughing, which means whatever you haven't used for 90 days, ask yourself strongly, assertively, do I need this? And then this question could be answered as, yes, maybe in the next 90 days. So you are standing in the middle of 90 and 90. Ask yourself, is this thing, is this material, or is this whatever it is, useful for me in the next 90 days? And if you say no, then let it go. Because it is unnecessarily keeping up a space. Unnecessarily something is there, it makes you heavy. Yeah, it's the energy is stuck. For example, when you pack your bag and when you go to the airport and they say, no, 1 kg extra, how easily you choose the first 1 kg that you know that is not important. We could have done that at the house. Earlier, there used to be no such platform or sections on the airport. Now, every airport has a section where you go and redo your bags, which means what? More and more people had shown less capacity of packing bags properly, extra. So 90-90 rule is, ask yourself, have I used it in 90 days? No. Will I use in the next 90 days? No. Let it go. Somebody else might use it. Or somebody might feel like this is what I needed and they got it. There's another thing called 333, Project 333, which means you have to only use 33 pairs of wearables, 33 wearables for 33 days. No, for 3 months, sorry. 33 pairs of wearables. Pairs means even shoes, wearables, watch, wearable, whatever I am putting on myself. Only 33. It can't be like, oh, my shirt goes with this pant, so they are together. No, please. Only 33 items. So 33 items for 3 months. And if I can do that, I will realize the rest others were not important. And why they said 3 months? Because in 3 months, the seasons might change. So you would be able to then let go of certain things. These simple tips. But people came up with these ideas. These are not from scriptures or ancient books. People came up with these ideas because they were struggling in their life. And where there is a struggle, there is always a solution. And these are wonderful solutions that come from people who have experienced the struggle of too much. Experience the struggle of running to get something, and then what do I do with it? So it's good to try these things. 90-90, 333. Numbers are nice to remember. Yeah. Then there is 10-10-10. Any idea what could be 10-10-10? So 10-10-10 means choose 10 things, 10 corners of your house or 10 places of your house. Give 10 minutes to check items there and take out 10 items that you not need in that corner of the house. And you will realize that literally those 10 things were not needed. I was just keeping them thinking, this might be useful, you never know when you will need. So the idea is to simplify the way we live. But doing it outside sounds easy. But what if my decision-making power is not strong? I could be standing in that first corner looking at 10 things and I won't be able to make a decision. Can I let go of this or not? So what is required to be able to do all these little things is a strong intellect. An intellect that is powerful enough to take quick decisions. So a situation. Let's say you and you both are going for a job interview. Okay? And you both are equally qualified. You both are equally smart. You both need the job equally. It's not like, oh, let him have the job. No, you both are in the same situation. And I asked you a question in the interview. Whom do I give the job to? A, to the person who gave the right answer, right? You agree? No? Yes. Somebody who gives the right answer, I'll give the job to them. But what if both of them give right answer? Then whom do I give the job to? No, let's say I ask more questions and they again give right answers. Then whom do I give the job to? The one who gave right answers first, isn't it? The one who is answering before the other. The one who is quick, faster to give right answers. Shouldn't I be choosing that person? Because their intellect is sharp. They could pick right answers in less time, which means more profit for my company. Same is with my intellect. If my intellect is sharp and if I have groomed it well, then it will be able to take quicker and right decisions when it is needed. But what if my intellect is slow? It does make right decisions, but not on the time when I need it. That is called repentance. That is called like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, but I already said that. I shouldn't have bought that, but I already spent money on that. I shouldn't have gone there, but I already went there and spent the whole day. What if my intellect was sharp and quick and fast enough, strong enough to analyze all these possibilities and tell, you are going to buy this, but then again, you will not use this. So why are you doing this? Like, yeah, really. Or you will go all this way and then you come back and then you say, I'm tired, but where's the fun? You went there for fun and you are tired. No point. So intellect needs to be groomed. It needs to be nurtured so that it is strong enough to take the right decision quickly. And that's where spirituality helps, meditation helps. It helps us to not just become more centered, it helps us to understand my real needs. There are real needs, and then there are needs that I think are my needs. Do you understand the difference in the two? Yeah, everybody understands what is my real need and what is I think is my need. I think I need a cup of coffee. And the body said, but you just woke up. You should be fresh enough. Look at our lifestyle, how it has become. All this has been fed to us, and we just, without analyzing, took it. They said, a morning coffee. The ad comes up very nicely, very beautiful, and you say, that looks so nice. But when I am drinking that coffee, I'm not looking that nice because it's not real. Principally, what should be? I took rest at night, and when I wake up, I should be fresh. But if I wake up and I'm not feeling fresh and I need a stimulus to make myself fresh, that means I didn't properly sleep. So everything could be checked. Everything could be asked question to see whether it's valid or not for me. I'm not saying you shouldn't have coffee. You can have coffee, but when? When is again the question. You can buy a new shoe, but when? When you really need it. So I was one of the person who would have so many number of shoes, because you really have not so much things for men, you see, in terms of fashion. For women, they have so many varieties, colors and styles and this and that. For us, I understood was two things: watch and shoes. This is many, many years ago, maybe 2010 or something like that. I'm telling you, in my college days, I would have the best shoe that I could see online. And online shopping had just started, so there was this craze to, I would get the first. So I would buy a lot of them. And I went to a conference and somebody from Germany was presenting something on sustainability. I had this understanding that we impact a lot in the world. Everybody impacts. So I went there with this understanding that I can do something for the world. And then she started asking a simple question: how many pairs of shoes do you have here? People who have single pair of shoe, raise hand. Nobody raise hand. People who have at least 2 pairs, raise hand. All of us raise hand. And then she asked 3 pairs, 4 pairs. And I was the only one raising my hands when she said 11 pairs. And I was like, oh, this is so bad. This is so bad. Because after 7 pairs or 8 pairs, hands were going down. And then she said, one single pair of your shoe, do you think how much water goes in making that? How much investment is there? And when you're walking with just one pair of shoe, not even 1.5 pair is not there. Forget about 10, 11. Then she gave so many statistics, but it made me think there's so much unused stuff in my cupboard that could be used by someone who do not have a single pair even. Or maybe their pair of shoes is just broken. They need a better one. I said, okay, I need to work on this. So I went to the same conference next year. And this time when she asked the same question, my hands was there on the one pair of shoe. And I was like, wow, I was the only one who was raising hands. And later I realized I couldn't have done this without a strong intellect, without a sharp intellect, and without a very powerful conviction on my own decisions that what I am choosing is right for me. What I am choosing is going to feed me in some way that nothing else can. What I am choosing is help me to become spiritually much more stronger as a person. Everything I buy, everything I possess, whether it's a thing, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a place, everything that I'm connected to will always demand my attention, will always demand my energy. So the less I have more to offer. The more I will have less to offer. Everything. We have one of Dadi Janki. You see the last picture? She would always say, if you have more, your mind will start looking for how to look after those more. If you have less, your mind will be much more relaxed. And so she would always say this. In Hindi, it means like, I'm someone with a white dress and no pockets. So because I have no pockets, I have nothing to worry about. But if you have a pocket, then you have to put something and then you have to keep checking your pocket if there's something. So it's not, spirituality doesn't tell you to not have things or to not have friends or circle or network, but meaningful. The word important here is meaningful. And when I say meaningful, it means how much of that is I am actually bringing in my use. I know so many people who are doing great in their jobs, in their business, in their, what people call as materialistic life. And they are doing it with balancing their spiritual life. The only thing they have made as a formula for themselves is Let me ask before jumping and doing this. Let me ask before buying this. Let me ask before saying yes to this. One question. And that one question is this going to uplift my spiritual energy, or is this going to bring my spiritual energy down? One simple question. Even if your stomach is full, simple example, stomach is full, not hungry anymore, and you went to somebody's house and they said, no, you can have this biscuit is very nice, this cake is very nice, just a little bit, 1 spoon. Ask yourself internally, doing this, will my spiritual energy go up or will come down? If I say, no, I just had my lunch and I can't eat anymore, I don't want to do this to my body just to please you. I am here, I can take water, I can take some drinks, but that's it. I won't eat now. So what will happen? I'll feel this sense of determination that has now gone up. But being sweet, not being rude. Sweetly. No, I just had my food and I don't eat after my meals. Just saying this simply. It has worked for me every time. I only have 1.5 or 2 meals a day. And in between my meals, I eat nothing. When I'm alone, then also I don't eat nothing. It's not like when people are around, I don't eat anything. And then when I'm alone, I am munching. No munching between 2 meals. That's my formula. So it's become so easy for me when I say to people, no, I already ate and now I can't eat until my next meal. That's my principle. They say, wow, you're so strong. Immediately this response comes. Why? Because I have practiced it, understanding that this will increase my spiritual powers. I'm not doing it for health purpose. Yeah, the health is a byproduct of that. But I did it for a spiritual purpose. That can I control my mind from going into food all the time? Sometimes now in retrospect, I think before going to bed, I would think, tomorrow what will I cook? And then when I wake up, I cook. And then I think, what will I make for lunch? And then after lunch, I think, what will I make for dinner? All the time, my mind is busy with food. And some researchers says that 40% of thoughts is focused on food. What will I eat? What will I cook? What will I serve? When will I eat? Where will I eat? Only these things. But if I fix certain things for me, then I get more time to focus on myself. So always this simple question, will this add my spiritual energy or will this subtract my spiritual energy? This one simple question helps us to balance modern life, balance materialistic life with our spiritual growth. So if you have any questions, we can take them now or we can go for a meditation. And you have a mic to ask a question. And if you don't have a question, then I have questions for you. You better have a question. And if you give right answer to my questions, you don't get a job. That was just an example. So it doesn't have to be a question. It could be something that maybe you think that was new or maybe useful for you, or how did that turn up for you? It could be a comment or whatever you want to share. Yes?
I'm going to go first.
Thank you. Earlier on, you mentioned about having some sort of formula that you do one thing at a time. You have one job. When you find yourself in a job, because I think you gave the example of the reception that's not taking much notice of what she's doing. But if you find yourself in a job where you have to multitask, no matter what, and every single specific thing that comes to you, you have to give it that importance, because you have to show the customer that, you're going to come back to them in a minute and you need to come back. So how do you actually ground your own spirituality to sort of like continually be focused. Because sometimes you go a little bit,
Absolutely.
think, oh my God, I'm going to go crazy. Too many.
Mm. Very good question. And for you, I can take both together. Yeah.
I just wanted to share. I like shopping. As soon as I see anything, I want it. Definitely. New watch, iPhone, new watch, new iPhone model. I want that. New shoes, Nike. I want that. So now I ask myself question. My name is Minal. Minal, do you want it or do you need it?
Very good. Yeah.
And then whatever answer I get. So if it's want, let it go.
Yeah. For me, I started with that. I would, instead of buying shoes, what I'll do is I'll save the links on an email draft. And I say I'll visit these links after a week. If after a week I don't find one of the shoes nice, I'll delete them. And so it'll take me 4 weeks to come to 5 links, which I might still be hooked onto. And then after a month, I tell myself, if I see one person in the next week wearing one of these models, then I won't buy that. So that's how I would, give myself time, create that needle head from little to big. I'll make it bigger. I'll distance my urge to buy and have and the action. I'll create a space between that. And 10, 10, 10, 3, 3, 3, whatever, and this email draft. There could be your ways of doing things, like your ways asking question, is it a need or a want? Sometimes because our mind has been not trained spiritually for this long, it could say, of course it's my need. And then you'll be like, okay, it's a need, so I buy it. No, we need to first train ourselves spiritually to be relying on the answers that I get from my intellect. If I haven't trained my intellect spiritually, it can give me a very worldly answer. It can say, the newest iPhone really has better features, and as per my work, I need that. But the next one will have even better features. So, is my training to myself done in a spiritual way where it doesn't get fluctuated by this worldly force of buy, get? It's all marketing. So I need to first ask myself, this training of mine, am I training myself properly every day? That spiritual training is required, definitely. To exercise any muscle regularly makes that muscle strong. Similarly, if I spiritually exercise my intellect every day through some spiritual study or meditation, it helps me to take stronger, better decisions that I'll be very proud of. So, and coming back to that question, like, sometimes you are in a position where lot of things are there in front of you. This concept that one person can multitask is a myth. Think about it. You don't have to accept it right now, but think about it. Whenever we are saying that I do multitasking, but actually I do one thing at a time, another thing comes only after I do that. It could be that I'm doing this thing and my mind is already there, which means I'm not doing this properly, neither can I do this properly. So let's just for a moment understand that there's something as multitasking. It's always one thing, then the next thing. The one thing and the next thing could be very quick. They could be sometimes so quick that we don't see the difference, that they're two different things and they're coming like this. But actually, there is one after the other. But still, to be able to hold my spirituality, to hold my gravity of peace, and then come into action, and then come into connection with everything that is around me, requires me to focus myself, requires me to practice it. For example, let's say I'm a mother and I have a child. I have to take that child to the school. But I am also a nurse in a hospital and I have to be next into my hospital. All these tasks is coming together. And then in the house, I have to also make everything ready for others who are in the house. I will be doing all of it. But if I make my mind one at a time, with hands, during cooking, you don't have to think, now I am cooking. No, your hands will cook because you have been cooking for so long. But if in your mind, you can just focus yourself, I am going to be doing great today in everything that I do because I am powerful. I am peaceful. I know who I am. So then your work will be finished. You will not be in the influence of the work, but the work will be under your influence of energy, of high energy. Similarly, if there is a big queue of people standing and everybody wants the answers right now, but if I take it very calmly, very positively, that I will look after all of them, but let me not lose my own peace. Because if I let go of my peace, they will also experience that. And even after I have helped them, they will carry back help with that negative energy. But if I carry my positive energy and if I can sustain it, they will carry back help or services with positive energy. So the key is to go for a fraction of second inside. The fraction of second of going inside actually helps me to see things more clearly. And that going inside is what we say meditation. So Raj Yoga meditation that we practice here is the one where you don't have to go to a corner, sit separately and meditate. It's just creating the right thought at the right moment and right quality of thought. Right thought could be also this: I have to help all of them. It's the right thought. But if I create another thought which is more powerful than that, I am a powerful soul. I am a powerful being. This thought fills me back with energy to serve all of them. Or if I create another thought like everything is going to be fine, everyone will be happy, I will look after all of them one by one. If I create thoughts that makes me stable, my stability would be visible and that would help them. But if they see me running around, if they see me doing things like this, they will like, oh, I don't know whether the service I received was good enough. But if they see me very calm and quiet, very stable, they'll feel like, yeah, that's it. What I do with my being, what I do with my presence has more power than what I say. We have a retreat center in Worthing, in south, north, wherever is to London. It's a sea beach. We have a residential retreat center. And we often organize retreat centers, retreats there for people to come. And in one retreat, when the feedback was being given, one person said, I was crossing the kitchen and I saw someone chopping tomatoes, tomato, whatever. And they were chopping it so peacefully. Looking at that, just this, I felt like, wow, life is really peaceful. That person was not telling anything, you should be peaceful. No, they were just chopping tomatoes in a very high elevated state of mind. Maybe they are thinking of the divine, maybe they are thinking of something nice, but that was coming out of from just chopping tomatoes. And that person said, that made me felt like I should have a life like this, not of chopping tomatoes, but that presence, that presence of beauty and calm on the face. I need that. That will not come from products. That beauty and calm and that energy will never come from products. It comes from that inner product of what I'm creating every day. Mind is like a factory and I'm creating thoughts every day, every moment. What product I'm creating is going to impact here. So multitasking is a myth. It might look like multitaskers have a better choice today in this world. People give them more importance. But at the end of the day, everybody is actually doing things one at a time. Yeah, the life is fast paced, so that one at a time has become very quick, but still it is one at a time. Everything natural is one at a time. Think about it. You won't drink and eat together, can you? Either you can chew or you can gallop. Either you can drink or you can eat. You can't do two things together. Our body tells it together that you can't do two things together. So natural is better. So always asking this question, is this really natural? Is this how I should be thinking, feeling? The moment I ask these questions, questioning is actually a very good thing, but not questioning others, questioning myself, and then waiting for that spiritual answer and training myself to be able to rely on the spiritual answers, the inner voice, to be able to rely on that, training myself on a regular basis is the key. We don't have to choose either or, we can go with both. But asking this simple question, like as you said, need or want, or any other question that you can frame for yourself. You can create your own formula. Not necessarily one person's formula would work for everyone. But to be able to create that formula, I need that space. And first, let's create this space here. Every morning, in the morning when I wake up, the first thought that I create has the power to create an experience for the whole day. If the first thought is, oh my God, I am late, the whole day will be like this. If the first thought is, I am a powerful soul, I am a light, I am a peaceful soul, I'm a peaceful being, the whole day you will see the impact of that first thought, the first few minutes. Would you like to create some space in your head now? Yeah? Inner space? We're sitting in inner space, but we'll go into a further down there, another inner space. What I'll request you to is, jerk your fingers, move your body, make yourself relax so that your body is not pulling you. Look after your body, make it flexible, easy. Yeah, make it twist, turn. If you want to just jerk your knees, make it relax, do whatever. But it's important to prepare your body so that it is helping you in your meditation. Very good. Yes, like that. So now relax your body. Choose a comfortable position that you can hold for, let's say, 5 minutes. You can either close your eyes or you can choose a point to look at. Fix it. And the next few moments, just observe, what do I think when I hear a sound, or if a thought passes by? What all other thoughts do I create? Let me create one thought, very powerful thought, and hold this thought for some time. I am light. Light that is simply pure, shining, shining in silence, shining with sweetness. I am light. I am connected to the Supreme Light. The Supreme Light is shining love, power, and peace. And as I connect with this supreme light, I am filled with light. Now I can share this light with the world. Just as any light's job is to radiate its own light, I too radiate my beauty. I radiate my peace. I radiate love. And I practice this for my own good, to remind myself to be a light and to see others as light. I belong to this world family of living lights. With this awareness in my mind, I come back into this room, into the present. Om Shanti.
Okay. Join me in thanking Shantanu. His wonderful thoughts, sharing. He was quite embarrassed to find that he had 11 pairs of shoes. But I can tell you, I remember I lived in Canada for a few years, and I went to one of the Chinese sisters. I don't remember who she was, but I knew she was from Chinese background. And literally, she had twice the cloakroom area just with shoes. So 11 pairs is okay. But yes, it's true, like we do have to have a system for ourselves. Normally I do that too. If I have one new pair of sari, I let go the other one, because otherwise you can just keep accumulating and not use it. And also it's like a clutter. And in a way, sometimes it's a reflection of what's in there, what's in the mind. And so it's good to clear externally. That will inspire us to clear internally too. Thank you for your thoughts. And just to flag up a few things that's going to be happening. Next week, we'll be kind of celebrating the International Yoga Day, and it will be how to think and be like a yogi. So this was a title selected by Wembley, and I think it was so liked that it's been taken by many centers in UK. I know something similar is happening in Global House too. And interesting, I only noticed it yesterday when we had the event on Sunday, that they have 3 speakers and we also have 3 speakers next week. That was just quite by chance. So it was good that people like this title and have adopted at our different centers. And just as kind of in advance notice, one of our courses, which will be in person on Wednesdays and Thursdays, 18th and 19th of June, which is about learning from the past. It's like learning to let go and emerge stronger. And every Mondays and Thursdays, except bank holidays, we have reflective meditations in the evening, 7 to 7:30, both in the house and in online. And also Sunday mornings, we offer meditation online, 10 to 10:45. So these are some of the upcoming things. And the product for the week is Living Our Values. This is the book. So if you want to browse in the shop, and obviously there's many more books about talking about detachment, learning to let go, because that's all about balancing, isn't it? And a very special event, which we mentioned, I think, last time as well, which is another reminder that this Friday, 13th of June, and this is going to be at our main center in Wilston, Global Cooperation House. So 4 p.m. onwards, we're going to be seeing the exhibits by primary school children, many of the primary school children in Harrow, and what they've learned in this year about peace. You know, we from Inner Space Wembley have been running this program called Young Ambassadors for Peace, which is now actually being taken by various other centers in the UK and also internationally. So this is our second year in running. So they're going to be coming and exhibiting. And Sister Nidhi, who had been visiting some of the schools in the last couple of days, she's saying the amount of preparations the children have done, and not just the preparation to exhibit, but what they've done through the year, and they're going to be exhibiting. So please don't miss it. There is a QR code for you to register, and that will be from 4 p.m. onwards, and 5 p.m. onwards will be the main program where they'll be getting a certificate. The school teachers will be sharing, the parents will be sharing, the kids will be doing plays, and each of these schools have thought about how to exhibit differently. So it's going to be wonderful. I'm looking forward to it. So don't miss that. And those online also, we hope you're able to join us in person, because that one we will not be webcasting. So because just to mind the children policy here, it will only be in-house. So if you don't see us in person, you'll miss a lot. So do come. So this Friday from 4 p.m. onwards till 7:30. Okay. And safe journey home. Thank you.